Bashar didn't make a prediction. He let slip a confession, and it rewrites the one question you thought mattered.
The question was never when Earth is going to join the Galactic Federation. The question is, how long have we already been inside, and who decided to keep you in the dark about it? Get this right, because I need you to hear exactly how he said it. In a live, in-person session, almost 4 hours long, recorded and dated, someone asked Bashar about our place in this so-called galactic community, and the answer wasn't a promise for some distant future. It was a statement in the present tense, delivered with the calm of someone confirming something obvious. He said, and I'm quoting him directly, "In a sense, Earth is already a part of the Galactic Federation, but secretly, already. Not will be, already is." And if that's true, then everything you've heard over the last few years about disclosure, about open contact, about the great reveal, is built on top of one small, elegant lie. The lie that this is something new, that we're waiting on a decision that still hasn't happened. Today I'm going to decode with you 3 implications of that single sentence that almost nobody says out loud. I'm going to show you the exact quote and the context it was said in, and at the end I'm going to hand you what it means specifically for you, a citizen of a silenced member of this federation. If you're the kind of person who prefers the uncomfortable truth over the comfortable fantasy, stick with me to the last minute, because the ending is where this touches your own life. For you to feel the weight of that sentence, I need to take you back to a detail that slipped past everyone. Everybody treats the year 2027 like a finish line. As if in that year a portal opens, ships land on the lawns of capital cities, and humanity is finally introduced to the visitors. It's a beautiful image. It's also completely wrong about what's actually at stake, because Bashar himself, in an earlier source back in March, described what's coming with one word that changes everything. He didn't call it an arrival, he called it a reveal. Listen to what he said, word for word. Even though it seems sudden and quick and unexpected, it's the result of things that have been going on behind the scenes for decades. This is just the reveal. The ETs have been here. They've been working with certain scientists and officials. They introduced certain things into our society that you think came from somewhere else. So now we're just letting you know, it's okay for you to now know. Stop on that sentence for a second. They introduced certain things into our society that you think came from somewhere else. This isn't theory. This is what's on the record. Decades, scientists, officials, technology you attribute to isolated human geniuses, appearing out of nowhere, in leaps that historians of science still struggle to explain. If you've never stopped to think about how many of those breakthroughs arrived in strangely convenient bursts, this is the kind of coincidence that, once you see it, you can't unsee. And if that just stirred something in you, do this. Drop a comment with the first piece of technology that popped into your head while I was talking. I read every one of them, and I want to see how far this pattern goes. Now, I know what the skeptic inside you is saying. Channeling isn't evidence. And you're partly right. So let's anchor this in something that happened on camera. At the end of 2024, and all through 2025, the northeastern United States was flooded with sightings.
Drones, according to the authorities. Objects the size of cars, flying in formation over New Jersey, over military installations, over reactors, night after night. And the official response was a spectacle of contradiction. First, there was nothing there. Then there was something, but they were commercial drones.
Then they were authorized drones nobody could say belonged to whom. Then silence. The classic pattern, boltung. And it's not the first time the script has run. Go back to 1947. A ranch in the desert, debris one officer described as nothing he had ever seen. A military press release saying a flying disc had been recovered, and, 24 hours later, a second release correcting all of it to a weather balloon. In a single day, the official posture went from, "We recovered something," to "Nothing to see here." That day wasn't the start of a denial. It was the start of an administration. The first frame of a choreography that's still running today, in new clothes and better technology, but the same dance step: reveal a piece, pull it back, redirect, repeat. 70-some years later, the New Jersey drones are just the most recent chapter of the same manuscript. And this is where it gets strange. Because while the public argued over whether they were Chinese, whether they were hobbyists, whether it was mass hysteria, nobody asked the question that matters. If a government genuinely didn't know what was flying over its own nuclear reactors, that would be the biggest national security failure in modern history. But if it did know, and chose not to say, then the confusion isn't incompetence, it's management. Management of information that's already under control. And management presupposes one thing only, that there's already a relationship there to be managed. Stop and stack it with me. Decades of sightings managed instead of explained. Technology that shows up in inexplicable leaps. A channeled sentence that says, flat out, that they've been working with our scientists and officials for decades. Each of those pieces on its own is disposable. You can explain any one of them away with enough skepticism.
But when you set them side by side, they stop looking like separate events. They start looking like chapters of the same story. A story that's already underway. And what looked like the beginning of contact isn't the beginning of anything.
It's the middle of something that was already rolling long before you were born. All of this can still be stacked up and called coincidence if you try hard enough. But what Bashar said in that session on May 24th, 2026, is going to make you reconsider every one of those pieces at once. Let me put you in the exact moment. It's not a stage with lights, it's a room. People sitting, asking real questions, one at a time. The channeler, Daryl Anka, drops into that gamma brainwave state that shows up when someone does what they love, to the point of losing track of time. And it's in that state that the entity who identifies as Bashar speaks. I'm not asking you to believe it's an extraterrestrial from a civilization called Esasani. I'm asking you to hear the sentence and ask yourself why it fits so perfectly into everything the documents and the sightings have been suggesting for 70 years. The question was about our place in this larger community. And the answer came like this. In a sense, Earth is already a part of the Galactic Federation, but secretly. What will then come in full disclosure in a couple of years is the revelation that you've been part of the Federation for quite a while. And therefore, it's all right to introduce you openly to many of the extraterrestrials that have been working with people on your planet, and others who will then come. Read it with me again, slowly, the part nobody highlights. The revelation that you've been part of the Federation for quite a while. Not the revelation that you were accepted, not the news of a recent admission, the revelation of a status that already exists, of a signature already signed, of a door that's been open so long they now just need to tell you it was never locked the way they told you it was. And here's the part that took my sleep away. In that same session, at the close, he ties it all together with a sentence that sounds almost like an inside joke of the universe. He describes 2027 not as a prediction, but as the culmination of something that's been going on for decades, where ETs have been working with people on our planet in certain disciplines. And then he calls it, and this is the exact phrase, the biggest secret that everyone already knows. And it doesn't stop there. Along the same line of reasoning, in another session, he describes these visitors not as distant tourists, but as a society that operates as a collective, an alliance, a federation of worlds, with defined roles. There's even someone who works specifically as a first contact specialist, trained to bridge civilizations without breaking the mind of whoever's on the other side.
Think about what that implies. You don't create the role of first contact specialist for a single future event. You create that role because contact is an ongoing professional activity with protocol. It's a job.
And jobs only exist where work is already being done. The biggest secret that everyone already knows. Sit with the weight of that. A secret that isn't a secret because the information is inaccessible. It's a secret because it was framed in a way that stops you from taking it seriously. It's in films, it's in series, it's in the testimony of a retired colonel. It's in the corner of your eye every time you look up at the sky and feel that thing you can't name. The information is everywhere. What was taken from you wasn't the data, it was the permission to believe it. So if Earth is already a member, and if the secret is a secret everyone kind of already knows, that leaves the most uncomfortable question of all. Members since when, and why on earth hide it from the people who live here? This is where we decode, and I promise, I'm going to pay off every thread I left hanging. For Amidursia lots in aiming lead together. First implication, and maybe the most disturbing. If we're already members, then there's no contact operation waiting to begin. The operation is already underway. For decades, that sentence about ETs working with scientists and officials doesn't describe a future plan. It describes a present routine, which means the behavior of certain agencies over the last 30 years stops making sense as denial and starts making sense as administration. You don't build elaborate protocols, black budgets, and compartmentalization structures over decades to hide something that doesn't exist. You build all of that to manage a relationship that does exist, that's delicate, and that someone decided you're not ready yet to know you have. The denial was never about protecting you from a fantasy. It was about protecting a structure from your reaction. Second implication, those so-called hidden phases of disclosure, that decades-long process that's going to culminate down the road. They're not the transition from outside to inside.
They're the transition from invisible to visible. Catch the difference. Nobody's admitting you to a new club.
They're turning on the light in a room you were already sitting in the whole time, in the dark, thinking you were alone. Open contact doesn't change your status. It only changes what you're allowed to see about a status that never changed. And that completely repositions who the newcomer is in this relationship. We're not candidates knocking on the door. We're members who were kept blindfolded inside our own house. And look, if those first two implications already rearranged something in your head, this is the moment to subscribe. Because what I'm building here only works if you follow the whole series in order, and the next file depends directly on this one. Whoever's decoding these signals with me doesn't get left out of the continuation. Third implication, and this one closes the arc. The secret status explains, with almost cruel precision, the behavior of our security apparatus over the last 3 decades. Why are sightings over nuclear installations treated with calculated confusion instead of genuine panic? Because panic is the reaction of someone who doesn't know what they're looking at. Management is the posture of someone who knows exactly what they're looking at and is simply controlling the pace of the information. Why are credentialed witnesses, pilots, officers simultaneously taken seriously in hearings and neutralized in the news cycle? Because the goal was never to uncover the truth. The goal is to dose the truth, release just enough so that when the full reveal arrives, it feels like a natural evolution and not a shock that splits society down the middle. If Earth is already a member, then everything that looked like incompetence, contradiction, and clumsy cover-up reveals itself as exactly the opposite, a choreography, slow, deliberate, and underway at this very moment while you watch this. Now, what this means for you, and I'm talking to you directly now, not to the general audience. If you've spent your whole life with the sense that there's a layer of reality you were only told half of, if you look up at the sky and feel a familiarity you can't justify, if the official news always sounded to you like an edited version of something bigger, maybe you weren't being paranoid. Maybe you were picking up, at your own level of frequency, the outline of a secret that, in his words, everyone already knows. You don't need a ship landing to confirm what a part of you was never able to disbelieve. You are a citizen of a silenced member of this federation. And being silenced is not the same as being excluded. You were always inside. They just never handed you the badge.
What changes, starting today, is your relationship with your own doubt. Instead of treating that intuition as noise, you start treating it as signal.
Instead of waiting for permission from an authority to take it seriously, you become your own permission. Because the reveal they're preparing out there isn't going to give you anything you don't already carry. It's just going to confirm, loud and clear, what the silence inside you has been whispering your entire life. So tell me in the comments, when in your life did you first feel that you'd been told the story only halfway? I want to read that, and I want other people who felt the same thing to know they're not alone. And when you click that subscribe button and turn on the bell, you're not just following a channel, you're breaking the bubble and getting this kind of decoding to people who are still waiting for someone to say out loud what they already know on the inside. Because here's the thread I'm leaving loose on purpose, the one I'm going to pull in the next file. If Earth is already a secret member, and if there are extraterrestrials already working among us, then some of them aren't on ships thousands of miles overhead. Some of them walk among us right now, with human faces, human lives, and a mission they don't even fully remember agreeing to. Bashar gave that category a name, and what he revealed about who those people really are is going to dismantle everything you thought you knew about your own identity. That's the next code, and I'm going to decode it with you.